In this video, I'm gonna share 24, dare I say, life-changing lessons. These lessons really helped me lay down a solid foundation and gave me a new lens in which I could see life. Okay, let's get this started. Number 1, prioritize your mental health. Mental health to me means how I'm feeling about myself when I'm by myself. When all the distractions has been removed and it's only me alone with my thoughts, how am I feeling? There is this list of feelings where the good feelings are at the top. For example, gratitude, freedom and confidence, and then the bad feelings are at the bottom, like shame, hate and feeling stuck. Our feelings are the result of what we do and what happens to us, and negative feelings are always gonna be part of life. However, one important detail I have learned when it comes to doing things is that it's the feeling we feel after we do something that is important. So if we want to improve our mental health, we need to be doing things which result in positive feelings. And this is true also the other way around. If we continuously do things which makes us feel bad, then our mental health will become worse. Number 2, focus on acquiring skills instead of knowing a lot. Just knowing a lot of random information is no longer that useful, especially with how fast AI is being developed. Instead, I think it's a lot better to spend our time learning skills that can be useful in the future or that are important to us. The skills I'm trying to learn right now are piano, Chinese and making videos. In the form of vlogs and these talking head videos. Next, stop looking for attention, praise and validation. I think it's perfectly fine to enjoy it when it comes, but I try my best not to do things right now where the main reason is to get attention, praise and validation. What I have learned is that we're not really looking for these 3 things, but what we are really looking for is the feeling they give us. And I think these positive feelings can be created in a better and more productive ways. Focus on what we can control and not on what we can't. I'm trying my best not to be affected by things that are outside of my control, such as weather, politics and other people's behavior. The only things that are within my control is my attitude and my next action. My mindset for when it comes to creating things, for example this video, is that I try my best not to be bothered by how it performs, because that's outside of my control. What I can control is how I made the video and how I use the feedback I get to improve my next one. Also, at this point, almost all of my videos are getting low views, so I have gotten used to it. I also think that we get what we deserve and we're not entitled to anything. Just because I put in some work does not mean I deserve a reward. Your 20s should be used to live life and have fun. I used to believe this, but it is wrong. We should definitely try to enjoy life. There's plenty of time for that in our 20s, but the main goal of our 20s should be to lay down a solid foundation, develop ourselves, educate ourselves, and then set up a plan for the future. You don't want to have the mind of a 20-year-old and the body of a 30-year-old. Our 20s is when we have the most amount of free time and energy and also the least amount of responsibilities. If we prioritize fun and comfort over growth, we are gonna have to pay for it with the rest of our life. One more thing here is that there really is no time to waste. I have never heard someone say that they are happy that they wasted a lot of time. Number 6, choose delayed gratification over instant gratification. So there are 3 selves: the past self, the present self and the future self. The life we currently live is because of our past self, and the life our future self will live will be because of our present self. So it's very important that our present self looks after our future self if we want to have a good future. So in my case, I studied IT in university. That's why I work as a software developer now. Do I want to do this for the rest of my life? No, I don't. That's why it's very important that I put in the work right now so I can avoid that future. Things that give instant gratification, like watching TV and playing video games, almost result in nothing good. One good quote here is hard choices, easy life. Easy choices, hard life. Next, develop discipline instead of looking for motivation. Discipline is about doing the difficult and challenging work even when we don't want to do it. Discipline is built by taking consistent action and showing up every day. Motivation is great when we have it, but it's just a feeling that is too unreliable to depend on. I think most people know what they need to do in order to move forward in life. A lot of the time, it seems that the work we least want to do is the work we should be doing. Number 8. Happiness and peace comes from solving our problems and not avoiding them. Procrastinating on our problems will only make them grow, leaving us with an even bigger problem in the future. Part of our attention will also be stolen by that unsolved problem because we will be thinking about it every now and then. At least for me, I'm not able to find inner peace when I have unsolved problems that can be solved. The more you do something, the easier it becomes. This applies to probably all skills in life. The more we do something, the more familiar we become with the process, and then the easier it becomes. Some examples are eating clean, going to the gym, or just asking people things. This is true for negative things also, like procrastination, skipping things, and making excuses. This is why I believe that for many people, the older they become, the better they are at making excuses. If we do something negative enough times, it becomes part of our identity. And at that point, we won't even feel guilty when doing bad things. Things won't change unless you change. Everyone wants to live their best life possible. We can only live our best life when we are the best version of ourselves. And we become the best version of ourselves by improving ourselves. And this is why I think that self-improvement is so important. It makes no sense to me to expect things to get better without me getting better. You don't want to be a person who only complains and does nothing about it. Read books to avoid problems in the future. I was very fortunate to discover self-improvement at age 22, and I think this was the biggest turning point in my life. Up until this point, the only books I thought existed were school books, fiction books, and then cooking books, because these were the only kinds of books that I had ever been exposed to. I immediately started to read, and I went in with a very open mindset where I really wanted to change and improve. I remember that it felt like I had found a cheat code to life. So the main reason for reading fiction books is so I can learn from the experience and mistakes of others. A lot of research goes into writing a book, so it's a great return on our time because it probably took the author many years to write the book, and then we, the reader, can just read it in a couple of hours. Once you have read enough books and listened to enough podcasts, you will find out that the things all successful people say are more or less the same. Take responsibility of your life. Actions have consequences. The life I have right now is the result of the previous choices I have made. If we are not happy with our life, it just means that we have not spent our time well. And of course I know the world is not fair. Some people are born into good families and some people are born into bad families. But constantly seeing ourselves as a victim when problems appear and then putting the blame on others is just a waste of time. No one will come and help us accomplish our goals. And no one will come and look after us to make sure we are doing the right things. If we are not willing to put in the effort to save ourselves, then there's nothing anyone can do to save us really. We need to realize that it's our responsibility to solve our problems. And I feel like if I'm not willing to put in effort to save myself, that just means I deserve to be in a bad place. Number 13, develop good habits. Good habits take you in the right direction and you end up in a good place. Bad habits take you in the wrong direction and you end up in a bad place. Our habits decide where we end up in life, and one quote I like is that time will either make or break you. Big results comes from the habits we perform every day. You need to have some goals in life. The good thing with goals is that it gives us a direction in life. Because of this, we need to intentionally set our own goals, because otherwise one will be set for us by others. If we don't work on our own goals, we will just work on other people's goals. Tony Robbins says progress equals happiness, and I agree with this 100%. And we can only make progress when we actually have a goal. For me personally, The days I have worked really hard on a goal are the days I feel the most proud of myself. Another benefit of having goals is that it makes you a more interesting person, and it also shows that you are a person who can commit. And when it comes to accomplishing goals, one of the most important things is believing in yourself that you can do it. Money is a transfer of value. If we want other people to transfer money to us, then we need to create value for other people. Not having money means that we are providing no value to people in a way that can be monetized. There are 3 types of value, which is entertainment, physical products like food, clothes and devices, and then education, which is basically teaching others useful things and then helping them achieve their goals. Not wanting something is the same as having it. All materialistic desires can be solved in 2 ways. Either we buy it or we stop wanting it. Many times when we want something, what we really want is the feeling associated with getting that thing and not actually owning it. And this is something I can personally confirm to be true. Every time you spend money, you also spend time. This is just a reminder to stop buying useless things, because our time is valuable and there is a lot of time being wasted on small activities when we buy something. For example, we spend time choosing what to buy, compare it with other similar things, randomly browsing around, and then we need to go and pick up the package and then also throw away the packaging. Unless you love your job, your real job is to find a job you love. How to know you don't like your job? The best part about the day is when you leave the office. How to know you like your job? You enjoy your work and think it's interesting. You learn useful new things and there is room for growth. And I would say that this is the category I'm currently in, working as a software developer. How to know you love your job? You would basically still do it even if you were financially free. So there are many benefits with a regular 9-to-5 job, such as safety and stability. However, I do believe that most 9-to-5 jobs is trading your time for security, and it's not meant to make a lot of money. Living life on your own terms is a desire many people have, so I think that this should make sense. Next, prioritize your physical health. So I have had problem with my hip for a long time. Although it is a lot better compared to before, it's still not fully healed. All I can say is that this is not fun. It is definitely reducing the quality of my life, and it is stealing a lot of my attention. So the best is to prevent injuries from the start. For me right now, I'm really making sure that diet, sleep, exercise and then a good posture are high priorities. It's important to write things down. Our mind should be used to come up with new ideas and not to remember facts. The benefit I see in writing things down is so I can capture good ideas and to avoid having the same thought over and over. You decide if a situation is good or bad. Most of the time, I try to look for the positive in every situation. Like Tony Robbins says, there are 3 decisions we make all the time. What we focus on, what it means to us, and what we choose to do. No one cares what you're doing because everyone is too busy focusing on themselves and their own problems. And I think this is something almost everyone knows. I have been vlogging in public and no one really cares as long as I'm not bothering them. And of course, don't do anything illegal. Desire is a contract you make with yourself to be unhappy until you get what you want. When we desire something, it means that we are missing it. And because we're missing it, it makes us unhappy. Having desires is part of life, and this is not about removing all of our desires. Instead, the idea here is that we should become more aware of our desires and then ask ourselves, is it good that I have these desires? Because if we are not clear on what we really want, then it becomes very easy to waste a lot of time chasing the wrong things. Last lesson. If I get angry, then it's almost always my own fault. Because anger is almost always caused by one of 2 things. My expectations of a situation were not met, or I lacked preparation. Both of these are within my control. Becoming angry does not change the situation that has already happened, and it only worsens my decision making. Instead, just learn from the situation that has happened, and next time, just set more realistic expectations and be better prepared. That was all the lessons and we made it to the end. Please let me know in the comments below if there were any lessons you liked or disliked. Thank you so much for watching and I wish you a great day.